everybody come in. So giving everybody a couple minutes. Hi, Lumis Automation. Fernanda is in the house. Valeria Flores. Hi, Paulette. Hi, Valerie. Oh, hi, Valerie. So nice to see you. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Roxana. Perfect. We have a full house. I think we can start. So I'll go ahead and tell you a little about what we're going to be talking today. Is an early start to engineering. So what we want to do in this lives is help you understand how to drive success in your engineering journey. Wanted to say thank you to our sponsors, Lumis Automation, that is also doing. I'm sorry, but that's owned by Eduardo, who's also the owner of this account of Engineering Means Guys. So thank you to STEMedia for helping us produce this show. And I'm gonna go ahead and invite our co-hosts, Fernanda and Eduardo. Can you all hear me fine?
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect. So I was just talking about our topic for today, and just wanted to, I guess, bring you both. And Fernanda, you'll be co-hosting today, and Eduardo, thank you for stopping by and saying hi.
Yeah, thanks for letting me come in.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying thanks for bringing me in.
Of course. Thank you for letting us hijack your account.
Yeah, for sure. Every Wednesday. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, it's amazing what you do and showcase, like what we do as women in engineering, but also bringing these resources for other engineer students to help them with their career. We do give tips here, and we're more than happy to help in any questions you might have. So I guess I will let you both talk.
Sure. Let Fernanda introduce Kierra.
Well, first, why don't you, Fernanda, reintroduce yourself to the people here, because I don't know if they haven't seen you in a while.
Yes. Hi, guys. So my name is Fernanda Zulantay, and I'm a chemical engineer. Of course, I'm an engineer, right? And right now I'm doing my PhD also in chemical engineering at DL. So I'm super excited to be here with you guys. And yeah, today we're gonna be talking to Kierra. So yeah, I'm gonna introduce her. She's a software engineer and at Boeing Space, specializing in cybersecurity. That's so cool. She will also be graduating this December with a degree in computer science and also mathematics. Love math. So, and when she's not writing code at work or in class, she uses her personal experiences and knowledge to create meaningful content in order to educate, motivate, and entertain her audience. And I absolutely love it. Like the quality of her content, I love it. Chef kiss. And she and like she uses Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
All right. Are we bringing her in?
Yes, and thank you, Fat Wanaji, for buying a badge, and for anyone that wants to support Eduardo. And,
Fedwa, that's Fedwa. I know Fedwa.
Oh, you know
Thank you,
her?
Fedwa.
Okay. Fedwa, okay. Well, thank you, and thank you everybody who wants to support and buy Eduardo a cup of coffee. So let me go ahead and bring her in.
All right, Kierra. There she is.
Coming.
Hi, guys. Can you see me and hear me okay?
Yes.
It's perfect. Oh, I'm so excited.
We're excited amazing.
Thank you. I'm so excited because you guys are all legends. I love all of your accounts. So I'm just honored to be here, to be honest. But I love all of you. I think you all are hilarious. So this is gonna be a good time.
Yes, it is.
Well,
We love your tattoo.
talking about hilarious, I'm supposed to do a meme review, right? I'm only supposed to
Yeah,
be here
let's
for
get
the
it
first
rolling.
meme, and then I'm gonna let you ladies take over. So I'm just here for the memes, okay? So let's pull up this one that Kierra sent us, and then you can describe how it's relatable to you.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So it says nobody, and then engineering students didn't get much sleep, but I did get a few hours of anxiety in. I don't say this lightly. I have never related to anything more in my whole life. I cannot tell you how many times during my degree that I just have not slept well. I've not, taken naps well. It's just straight up anxiety. So I'm no stranger to that meme.
I think we've all been there. Like more times
Definitely.
than we wanted to.
Yeah, there's sometimes I can't sleep. Even now, there are days where I just can't sleep well just because I'm thinking of everything I got going on. So
Yeah. Oh my God.
Same.
And the worst thing is that I remember last semester I was about to go to sleep and I checked my email and then I got an email from my advisor and then I got
What?
anxiety.
And then
Oh,
there
wow.
was anxiety.
There was one time last semester where I went to bed at like 11:30. Like I laid down, shut my eyes, or maybe I was on TikTok or something. I don't know. I was in bed and I get a notification, 12:01, Blackboard, assignment past due. And I still have nightmares about it to this day. This was like a whole year ago. To this day, I still think about it.
Oh my God. That's the worst.
I did
Wait.
once I did have a dream where I thought I didn't graduate and it felt so real. And then
Oh
I
my
woke up and I'm like, wait, I graduated, right? Okay. It was just a dream and it felt so real, man. But
Yeah.
I just want to say
I had
thank you,
the same
ladies, for
dream.
being here. I was supposed to only do the first meme and say hello to everybody. I'll probably have some questions for you, Kierra, along the live, so I'll be commenting on there. And for anybody who doesn't know about Lumis Automation, please hit the drop down and follow us. Anything automation related, that's what we do. So thanks for having me. I'll be joining the next live sometime soon, so we're on schedule.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, everybody.
See you
See you
soon.
later.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, let's continue with the party.
So, Kierra, do you want to tell us a little more about yourself? Did we miss anything?
I think you
that
guys pretty much
introduction?
I think you guys pretty much got it all. Like Fernanda said, my name's Kierra. I am a computer science major. I'm graduating in December, so I'm almost there. Everybody cross your fingers that I actually graduate.
You will.
And I know, it's so close. It doesn't even feel real. But outside of work or outside of school, I work at Boeing, Boeing Defense Space and Security down in LA. So that's really fun. I work in cybersecurity, and then I also obviously make content, and yeah, that pretty much takes up most of my time. I'm also like a huge Golden Girls fan. I love a good jigsaw puzzle. So that's just a little bit about me personally. But yeah, Fernanda summed it up great. So yeah.
Oh, we love your content. Yeah, I was telling everyone right now, like chef kids, because I see your content and oh my God, you put like so much effort on it. I'm
Girl,
like,
you too.
No, I see yours and I'm like, I have to be like Kierra.
Oh my gosh, you better stop.
No,
you're
yeah,
like the queen of TikTok and like Instagram too. You've grown so much, rightfully so. So we love Queen Fernanda.
Thank you. We love you too. So let's start, with the questions. So
yeah, I'm pulling them up right now. Sorry, I'm not.
I can start. Yeah,
I had them here, and then my computer went to sleep on me. So let me pull. You can
no
enjoy
worries.
it too.
Oh my gosh, hold on, wait. Before we continue, while you open that up, somebody said Golden Girls, who's your favorite girl? I have to answer it.
Okay.
Okay, I have thought about this for so long, literally like my whole life. The past 22 years, I've been thinking about this exact question, and I think my favorite Golden Girl is Dorothy, but we can get into that later. All right, we can go on.
Wait, are Golden? So I didn't grow up in like U.S. So are Golden Girls like the one with Betty White, or am I getting confused?
Yes, it's the one with Betty White. It's about like the four old ladies who live together. It's so wholesome. It's the best show ever. It's so good.
I like
Yeah,
Grace and Kelly. Is that's the new show? Like the two ladies who are older and live together.
Yes.
No,
Grace and Frankie, I think.
Yeah, Grace and Frankie. I love that show. Okay, so my first question is, at what age did you become interested in STEM?
I became interested in STEM at like 16, 17 years old. My mom, so I was a senior in high school, and I was not even considering STEM when I was going to graduate. I was going to go do law school or go into business or something. I really had no idea. And both of my parents are engineers, but they're really good parents. So they never like forced me to like do math or science or anything like that. They just tried to give me every opportunity to kind of take the bait. So
yeah.
One year, senior year of high school, my mom ended up taking me to a Society of Women Engineers conference with her. And I will never, ever be able to thank her enough for that experience, because if I wouldn't have gone and met all of those amazing women and just been so inspired by how many powerful, educated, and intelligent women were there, I would have never gone into STEM. So it was like my senior year of high school that I...
Wait, what is it that you went to, or that your mom signed you up for?
It was the Society of Women Engineers annual conference.
Okay, yeah, that's like, okay, perfect. Good.
Yeah.
Good. And like, was there like anybody specific that made you like, I don't know, like that, ignite that love in you?
Yeah, I think so like at the conference they always have like keynote speakers, and then they also always have like sessions and stuff for anybody who hasn't been. So I'm every single year I'm just absolutely blown away by how amazing all the keynote speakers are, and also just hearing from like all of the people who work for NASA. I always go to like all the NASA panels every year and just listen to them talk, and that was really inspiring. But honestly, just the whole environment is just very, very motivating. So yeah.
So can I ask a question? What type of engineer are your parents?
So my mom is a civil engineer and my dad is a mechanical engineer. So when I said I wanted to go into engineering, then it was, okay, well, is she going to go into civil or is she going to go into mechanical?
You know, I love these stories because so my parents were not engineers, but I mean, I'm just like thinking how I'm gonna make my son to be an engineer. So I'm taking notes.
I know, my parents were smart, because I feel like kids, whenever their parents tell them to do something, then they do the opposite.
Yeah.
And whenever their parents like don't tell them to do something, that's what they do. And I feel like that is exactly what my parents did to me. Like they never told me to go into engineering, never like tried to force me. It was mind games that they were playing, but I'm grateful for it. So
okay,
because
good.
they're
That's what I'm gonna do.
That's why they're so smart. What was I gonna say? This is so cool that you're actually talking about how like you know, like the SWE conference change, or you know, you made a pivot in your life, or you took this great decision and you're really happy with the career you chose, because I think there's a wink to Fernanda.
Yes.
Well, I'll let her do the talking.
Yeah, guys, I'm so excited. I talked about this last time, but yeah, like with partnership with Papaya, so Sandra, we have created this engineering challenge competition. It's gonna be 1 week. So if you're a female engineering student, please go and apply right now. It's gonna be so much fun because you're gonna learn professional skills, but also we're gonna prepare you to go to a career fair with like, we're gonna prepare you with your resume and how to act and how to find those internships. So yeah, like we want to help you. So go and apply. You just have to go to the Papaya Tutor website, and then in resources you can find the engineering challenge, and then it says register. Also, you can find it if you go to my Instagram account, you can find it there. And I'm so excited, so please apply, and if you know other female engineering students, send it to them.
Fernanda, you're too nice, and you are definitely you're way too nice. I'm not doing anything. I mean,
oh my god, you're doing everything.
No, but like what I'm saying is like this was your idea, and I, you know, like I think that I had a good leader in at my work who really showed me how important it was to give credit. And to your credit, like this was her idea. She came up with a challenge. I never done one or participated, so just want to make that clear that it is, you know, a big effort on you on creating and coming up with that idea. And another thing, Kierra, that I wanted to tell you is that you know, Fernanda goes to Yale, no big deal. And she's doing her PhD at Yale. And I told her, I was like, why don't we promote your, you know, your engineering challenge at Yale? It would be so easy. And, you know, she wants to take the hard route, and she wants to go ahead and promote at universities where that are underfunded and where people are not getting that much help. And, you know, Ivy Leagues and top universities do get help. And those kids go to, you know, schools that are underfunded or that will never get this type of opportunity. Those are the schools that Fernanda wants to help, and I think that's very admirable. Anyways, so do I have the next question, or do you?
Oh no, yeah. So we can come back, yes, because I want to keep hearing about Kierra. So how did you become a software engineer there? What was your path?
Well, first of all, what you're doing is super amazing, and all the women in engineering on here should go join Fernanda's competition because it's gonna be fun. But anyways, so I actually also, I've been going to the Society of Women Engineers conference ever since I went with my mom in high school, and the evolution of it has been really funny because back when I went with her in 2016, I think it was in Philadelphia. It's in a different city every year. And I was like the youngest person there. I probably wasn't, but like at the time they weren't big on like involving high school students, and I was like just a baby compared to everybody else. And so like I couldn't really go to the job fair. Nobody like really, everybody was super welcoming to me, but there was nothing like really that I could gain, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't there for a job. I was literally just there to get exposed. So the last time I went to the SWE conference was right before COVID, so 2019, either October or November, and it was the year before the year before the summer of my junior year, which is usually when people tell you like that's the internship that you're gonna get the offer from when you graduate. So I went into that conference with a lot of pressure on my shoulders. It was very, very intimidating. So I had like 100 copies of my resume printed. And for everybody who hasn't been to the SWE conference before, it is the biggest conference for women in STEM in the whole world. So pretty much every company you could possibly imagine shows up to this thing. So I had so many copies of my resume, and I was just planning on passing them out like candy. And I went around and I was like, I had my little elevator pitch and I was passing out my stuff, and I set up some interviews, and then I saw the big Boeing booth. They have one of the big booths every year, and I was like, I'm just gonna try it out. The line is like 50 people long, and I was like, I'm just gonna drop it off, like whatever. It's fine, like I don't really care. So I get up to the front where the lady takes your resume, and she, kind of either sends you away or you get kind of back to like the managers who are there to hire people. And, I kind of told her about myself, that I work in cybersecurity and I have experience in the space industry. And she was like, oh, actually, you sound like the perfect fit for actually this team we actually have here. So I'm just going to send you directly back to them. And I was like, okay,
Oh my
I
God.
guess.
Uh-huh.
So I ended up talking to them, and I interviewed right on the spot. And we just all clicked with each other. My experience that I had was pretty much exactly what they were looking for. And so, long story short, that upcoming summer when COVID hit, I interned virtually, and the rest is history.
Nice. So you're still working there, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So are you still an intern, or are you a full-time, or how is that?
So I interned during the summers, and then when I graduate, I'll go full time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm close.
Wow.
I'm close to that big girl paycheck.
I love it. Yes. So, oh, we're gonna take questions from the audience right now, right?
Yeah, or we can do our next meme review.
Okay.
Let me see if we have.
I have the meme here.
Hi,
So,
Lumis,
okay.
from California. Sonia is joining from Oregon.
Sonia.
Yes. Okay. So
And I
next
guess
one.
you just found out that you just accepted your offer.
I haven't accepted it yet, but that's my plan.
Wait. Okay. She has the offer.
Not official.
Okay. So here's the next. Can you see it?
Oh my gosh, yes, except it's backwards, so you might have to read it.
Oh.
Like it's mirrored to me.
Okay. So I'm gonna read it. It says, when it's the weekend, but it doesn't matter because you're an engineering student. And look at his face.
Literally, the Mickey Mouse pajamas are just
Oh, I
like
didn't even notice that.
so spot on.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I picked that one because I saw that and I was like trying to think of the last time where there was like a weekend where I just chilled and I didn't do like a single thing, and I literally can't remember. There's no time off around here.
I know, at the beginning of my degree, I used to go out a lot. And then, like towards the end, it was like every Friday, it's like, okay, I have things due midnight.
Yes, seriously. Friday and Saturday, it's go time.
Yeah. And it's like you trying to survive the week, but you still have a lot to do on the weekend.
Yes. Yes, like everything you put off during the week is now on the weekends. And also, especially with like creating content and stuff, like when you're not doing school, like the only time to make content is like usually on the weekends, for me at least. So
yeah, and especially for us that we work. We work during our undergrad. It's like and creative content. So yeah, no free time.
No, I definitely admire that. To create content, I'm very shy, so really don't do much on my page, but to stay constant, that's like the thing. Oh my God. So definitely hands down to you guys. Girls. Okay. So I do have your next question here. And it was, what was the hardest class during school? But before that, so you said that you got interested in STEM when you were 17, right? So, so before that, like, were you always good at math and science or coding, or how did that start? Did you start in high school?
So I feel like I was always like sort of in advanced math and science classes, just kind of throughout my I guess schooling. Like I was never the smartest, but I was always like on the more advanced side of it. So it was always something that I never thought I was good at, but like the grades and where I was at said otherwise. I don't know, it was like always the one thing growing up where I was like, I am not good at this. Actually, in middle school, I lived in France and I went to this really, really nice international school, and they actually let you pick if you wanted to be in like the easier math class or like the more advanced math class. And I picked the easier math class because I never thought I was good at math. And after I like submitted my option, my math teacher actually like pulled me out of class and was like, hey, I don't think you should be in the easier math class. Like, I think you should be in the advanced one. So I actually ended up switching classes. So for like my whole life, I just never thought I was good at it. And then when college came around and I went to the SWE conference, it kind of started clicking in my brain, and I was like, you know, maybe I am good at this, and maybe this is something that I would want to do and be good at doing. And the rest is history, pretty much. And I actually didn't start coding until I changed my major to computer science. So you know, I did a few things like here and there throughout like middle school and high school, but nothing like legit. So I like, that's a question people always ask me is like, how did you start coding? And I was like, literally the first day that I changed my major to computer science, I learned how to code, which I feel like a lot of people don't know. So yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I feel like people feel bad for not starting early because there's like, you know, other students would like start in high school and they're like,
Yes.
they're super good. But yeah, it definitely you just need to practice a lot, because also like I think I started coding a lot more like a year and a half ago. And you know, now, I mean, if I go back in time, like I wouldn't believe what I'm coding right now, you know?
Yeah,
But what I'm saying is like it's never late to start, right? Like I
exactly.
started in my senior year of college.
Yeah, and I think that's like the coolest part about like coding is that no matter how old or young you are, you can learn it just the same. Like I know people who are like, I've been coding since I was 6 years old, and I'm like, good for you. I literally was like writing by the seat of my pants the first day of that computer science class, like literally. So yeah, I think it's cool that like no matter like who you are, it's never too late, just like you said.
Yes.
So what was your hardest class in school or in college?
So I kind of have two answers to this, but my like if we pretended COVID didn't exist, my hardest class was probably when you asked me that a few days ago, I literally said every class, every single one of them was the hardest class I've ever taken. But if I had to pick one, it would probably be data structures and algorithms.
Yeah.
And that is like the quintessential computer science class that everybody takes. And it is very, very hard because it teaches you to think in a way that humans don't normally think. And so it's just it changes the way you think, and it changes the way you problem solve. And so yeah, probably that. But my second answer is it's been really, really hard with COVID to like transition from like in-person classes to completely online to like half and half. And now I'm kind of like majority in person, some virtually, and that has also made things really, really difficult. So it's hard for me to pick like the hardest because I feel like a lot of my classes have been really difficult just because they've been virtual. So yeah.
No, yeah, that's true. Yeah, like online classes, it's been very difficult because we do everything in the computer, and that's just so exhausting. And then like, you know, sometimes when we're in class, for me, I mean, at least for me, like talking with other people, going to office hours, laughing, you know, with my classmates, it just like made things easier.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
You know what? I knew data structures and algorithm because of two things. I only took Java and C and Python. So that was my next question to ask you both, actually. What was your favorite coding class? But this reminds me of a meme that I wish I had. It was when Kylie asked, tell me of a book that made you cry. And somebody said data structures and algorithms. And they put the cover of the book.
Yeah. Yes.
And then another one, and the other reason why I know is because my developers are actually tutors, right? And they actually talked about that class, and we actually put that class on Papaya because it's hard.
So it like introduce Papaya, like people don't know.
Oh, Papaya is an online learning platform, so that we match you with somebody that thinks the hard subject that you're having trouble with is easy. So we make it easy for you because Papaya means like piece of cake, you know. So we tell our tutors that all the students have to leave the class thinking like, oh, I got it, it's papaya. I don't know if that was, I don't know if that's something
Yeah.
that you knew, Kierra.
Yes, of course. I think you all should go sign up for Papaya. Just saying.
Yeah. I've used papaya and it's super affordable, and also like the tutors are so good. I was taking this class right now in graduate school that it's about neural networks, which is like, you know, super hard class. And yeah, and I was telling Sandra like, I don't know if this is possible, but can you find a tutor for me? And yeah, he found someone and he helped me with my project. And you know, at the end, like the concept wasn't really that hard, but I don't have a computer science background, like a strong one, but like he just made it easy for me to understand. So sometimes you just need like someone to like, you know, explain it for dummies. You know, like the book
Yeah,
for
that's
dummies.
another thing too. We only hire, we like whatever subject that you want to teach, we're like, okay, explain to me like pointers as if I was 5 years old. So, you know, so if they can do that, it's what we want to create and what we think that engineer students lack of, it's a place to know that they can go and there will be somebody that knows how to do that question. But this is funny because we've been like sometimes also on demand. Because when Fernanda asked me, hey, can you find me a tutor for neural networks? And I was like, sure, when do you need it by? Today.
Today.
Fernanda,
That's kind of how we do it, right?
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, what today? But yeah, I mean, thank God we had one. So yeah, that was good. And
Yeah, it was super helpful. Yeah.
yeah, you loved him. I think like you took him 25. That was the biggest tip. But yeah, I think he
I
did.
was just because I was so concerned about the project, and he helped me so much that I was like, yeah, you can have it all. All my money, take my money.
Fernanda was ready to sell her soul to that man.
Yes. I mean, we've all been there, desperate for a
Yes.
solution. Yes.
Yeah.
So someone said papaya sounds more in depth than yeah, and like because Khan Academy is just videos, but papaya, like you're talking to someone and they're looking at your problem and they're helping you, you know, to you directly.
That's what I was just about to say is I like there's so many like online resources, especially for computer science. But the thing that's really missing for computer science students, and I can speak on this because I know from firsthand experience, is you know, there's a million people making tutorials and lecture videos on YouTube, and you know, you have Chegg and whatever. But really, what's missing is that applied knowledge. And that's what I think is so cool about Papaya is that you're taking that extra step and you have human interaction and you have somebody to like actively problem solve with. And it's not just somebody on a screen saying stuff that doesn't really relate to what you're doing. Because I can't tell you how many times like I've needed help understanding a concept or like a problem I was working on homework wise, and like I couldn't really find anything that was like just right for what I needed. So I think Papaya is awesome, and I think tutoring is really important, especially for STEM students. I know a lot of us like struggle to ask for help, so I think it's really important to, you know, get
minute. That's another thing why I did it too, because it was actually out of a need. Because I would wait. I mean, as a good that fits the stereotype, I procrastinated and wasn't good at time management. So I would wait until the last minute, right? And then I was like, oh shoot, I'm gonna fail this class if I don't get like if I don't do something about it, right? Like I felt like I thought I was gonna do okay because I had like done okay in all of my classes, but when it came to computer science, it was a different monster than engineering. So I had
a monster.
Oh my god, yeah. So I was like, what is this? You know, because I usually would be able to go to like the test and figure it out, or you know, like study a little, but
yeah.
God, computer science was like, oh my God, what is this? This is like, I think like Chinese. So, you know, like that's when I got the tutors, but I did tell them, right? my need was because I was working full time and going to school, so I didn't have
Yeah.
time to study. So I needed somebody to be there and help me because, you know, like I also didn't understand the teacher, and I think the class was online. And let's be honest right now, like, do we watch all the lectures like on online classes, you know, like, or do we wait until like the last minute and hope that we just like get all this knowledge in like overnight with couple like, I don't know, like coffees and Red Bulls, like, you know. So that's why I was like, no, there should be a place where I know there's always going to be somebody that can dumb it down for me, at least for me, right? So
Yes.
I also had somebody tell me at like freshman year, like engineering student orientation, she said the only way you can fail in engineering school is when you fail to ask for help. And I was like, dang, you're right. So I have always taken that with me. The only way you can fail is to to ask for help. So remember that when you need tutoring, go to Papaya.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much. But okay, we can stop talking about papaya because I'm blushing. So
Yeah, so
Fernanda,
speaking of online resources, so yeah, like you, oh, and I love that exactly like Joanne put your username on the chat, coding with key. Is that how you say it? It's coding with key?
Coding with key, yeah.
Yeah. So so I love the resources that you put out online. So what made you start create like a social media presence?
So when I started, there was like maybe like 5, and I think that is even like a generous estimate, like 5 women in STEM like making content on social media. And because truly this was like a space that did not exist before like a year or two ago. And so when I switched my major to computer science, I was like super lonely. I was super lost because I just changed my major. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Like, oh my gosh. And it was just kind of like a very like, it was a moment where I just felt like very lost and very lonely. And so I turned to YouTube and I just looked up day in the life of a computer science student. And when I tell you, I probably watched every single video that was uploaded, like with a similar title to that. I'm not kidding. And there was only like 1 or 2 women in the whole pool of videos that I watched. And so I just thought, you know, if I'm sitting here struggling and like feeling lonely and like lost, there's probably a lot of other women or just people out there who feel the exact same way. And I was like, you know what? Let me start just putting my journey out. Like, I'll just start bringing my camera to school and like making the same type of videos. And that's kind of how it started. And like, as time went along, I feel like the community of women in STEM on here has grown so much, and we're all so close now that like some of y'all are like my closest friends. Like seriously, like some of the friends that I've met like through this community on Instagram and YouTube is like incredible, and it's everything that I dreamed of when I first started, when there was like nobody doing this. So yeah, that's how I started. I really wanted, like, really what it came down to is I just wanted to help people, and I wanted to like make friends online because I was so lonely, and I just wanted to connect with people who like felt the same way as me. So yeah.
You know, I feel like every one of us like has kind of like a similar story.
Yes.
And yeah, I love that you were doing that with your YouTube channel. I started watching. I think I've watched all of your videos, but I remember like one day I was like, let me just watch from the beginning. Where did Kierra start? And I remember I watched the first video and you were saying that you were gonna start showing your journey and all of that. And yeah, I thought it was very interesting. And as you said, I mean, you know, when I started, like, I wasn't specifically looking for a community, but I found it and I was like, wow, like this is what I was missing, because I just didn't know too many people in my school that I could connect with. And then I found all of these girls online and I'm like, I love you girls. Like, you guys are my friends. Yes. And as you said, like, I mean, right about like, that was like one of the good things about the pandemic is that all of us just started like like creating this community. And now, because it was before that, it was all mostly like beauty and travel
Yep.
influencers and stuff like that, and then we came.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, because
Yeah.
like, you know, I knew that I wanted to do something like that in social media, but I was like, yeah, like I don't know if I want to talk about like beauty and lifestyle and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Let me, yeah. So like, you know, it was a lot of trial and error, but then I'll see like other girls talking about their journey, and I'm like, wow, like this is so interesting.
Yeah. And it's really cool to be able to like, because before influencers, like you said, were like either travel or beauty or like fashion. But now I feel like truly we are the first like group of influencers. I don't like to call us that, but like that's kind of what we are.
Yeah.
I feel like we're the first group that has so much substance. Like we're career driven, we're confident, we're intelligent, we're business women. Like we have so many like really, really respectable qualities that the internet has never seen before in a group of women. Like this like huge range of like topics and qualities that we all bring to the table is like literally changing history. So it's so fun. I love it.
Yeah, me too. And I love learning, because I learned so much from like
Yes.
everyone that I follow.
Yes,
You know,
like finally we
there are
can go
more
on
like,
Instagram and learn and like you can learn about rocket science, you can learn
yeah.
about going to Yale, you can learn about literally anything you want. It's so incredible.
Oh my God, guys, I have to say, I hope that, okay, yes, Joanne is here. So Joanne is putting on a learning series, and it's like Learn Rocket Science, and it's going to be with Papaya Tutors. So Papaya Tutors are going to explain it like a 5-year-old, like to a 5-year-old, and then she's going to apply it on how it's being used in rocket science. And I think
Ooh.
that's so cool.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and then I wanted to also add that I read this post from Iron Girls, and they said that there's so many female STEM communicators, as you don't want to be called influencers. I wanted to correct you like that. So, yeah, so there's a lot of female STEM communicators, but this is because we have been like overlooked and we're underrepresented. And from what I read is that they have seen that and they want to showcase that there are a lot of women in STEM and make it more, I guess, normalized that there are women in STEM so they can, you know, have more females join STEM careers. So I thought that was pretty cool too. It was a cool theory. Anyway, so what is the next question, Fernanda? I pulled my
Oh,
computer.
yes. So yeah, I love how you said that, you know, you got your first internship like very early on. So like, how did you start your career so early?
Okay, so when I was a junior in high school, you know, when you're a junior in high school, you're going into your senior year, like you don't really care about what classes you're taking, like you're just kind of over it, and that was totally me. So I remember it was like one of the last days of like the year, and so my guidance counselor was like, we need to have a meeting so we can sign you up for your classes, and I was like, okay, whatever. So we had this meeting and she was like, okay, so I see that you've done really well in math and science, and something I want to offer up to you is we're doing this experimental year-long course for CATIA training, and the local college in my area, which is a huge engineering school, is gonna like sponsor it. So they're they're gonna run this whole thing, and when you graduate from high school, they're going to pick 2 of the top performing people in the class, and they're going to give them like a really, really awesome opportunity to do a paid internship. So when she says this to me, junior year high school me was like, I literally don't care about CATIA. Like I didn't even know what that was. And so this was like before I went to the SWE conference too. So like I wasn't even going to go into STEM. I like literally did not care about senior year at all. So I talked to my parents about it. Like I said, both of my parents are engineers. So of course they wanted me to take this course. So I ended up just agreeing to do it. It was just kind of one of those things that I was like, I'll do it just to like make my parents happy and maybe I'll get something out of it. I don't know. I don't care. So for everybody who's like maybe younger, doesn't know what CATIA is
Actually, I mean, I'm not young, but I don't know what it is.
Okay, so so CATIA is like a 3D CAD software, so it's a design software. So like one of the things we can use it for is like, let's say you wanted to go build a car engine, or you wanted to go design a car engine. In CATIA, you could build very detailed components to the engine and put it all together virtually. And you can do testing on it. You can kind of like see how it's all laid out. So like, this is a really, really big thing in aerospace for like building digital twins. And yeah, so it's just pretty much the ability to design and build physical components digitally. So anyways, I take this CATIA course and I ended up loving it. It was definitely so hard because it was a college class. It was very, very hard, but I ended up being one of the top performers. So I was one of the people who was offered one of the internships. So I was like, great, I'll do it. And so at 17 years old, I worked for Stratolaunch Systems as a design engineer, essentially. So basically they would tell me, hey, we need this designed in CATIA. I would go design it in CATIA, send it back to them, and that's kind of how it worked. So
oh my God, that's so cool. And
yeah.
actually, when you were saying that you got the internship at Boeing, you were like, I had experience, and I'm like, when did you have experience? So this was your experience.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I did that, and so if anybody doesn't know what Stratolaunch is, it's basically a huge and Virgin Galactic has a very similar aircraft to this, but basically it's a double fuselage aircraft. It's longer than a football field. And in the middle of it, there's a rocket so the whole thing, ginormous plane, flies into LEO, low Earth orbit, and the rocket launches off. So I worked on the rocket. So I did that. And then when I changed my major, I was a mechanical engineering major at that point. So when I switched, I worked just at an aerospace company for like a year and a half, and then I actually got hired at Boeing after that. So that was kind of my long story short of what I've done so far.
I love it. I love did you see my comment, Fernanda? She's just like, I just went in, like, who knows? Maybe I'll get it. She gets it.
Yeah.
She gets, like, the amazing opportunities. I need to go through life thinking like you, Kierra. I'm just gonna go. Ask for this round.
I have the worst imposter syndrome. Like, I seriously think back to like so many times in my life where like if I would have known like my potential, I probably could have done so much more. But like to this day, I still have that mentality of like, I guess, like, I don't think I'm good enough, but I guess I'll do it. So
you are. So I have a question here in the chat, and I know this person, Lucas, like he is a mechanical engineer, and he's asking, he's bitter. Why did you decided to switch from ME?
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna like create some some tension here, some conflict, but honestly,
wait, let me tell you before you start that like 70% of Engineering News guys followers are mechanical engineers.
Where are the mechanical engineers?
No, this is about me. It is about me. It's not about them. But to be honest, like I was just really bored. Like here's the thing. When you're in a STEM field and you think it's boring or you don't care, it's so hard that you can't afford to not care. You can't afford to be bored. And so I realized that, and I was like, I need to change what I'm doing or I'm gonna fail out of college. So that's when I was like, okay, if this isn't my passion, like that's okay. I need to like figure out some, but I just didn't know like what I wanted to do. So it was totally like a me thing, not like a mechanical engineering thing. It was just like totally on me. And like when I chose mechanical engineering, I didn't like, I just chose something. Like I didn't choose mechanical engineering thinking like this is my passion, this is what I want to do.
Yeah,
I just was like, I just chose, like I had my engineering internship before I had even picked my major. So I was like, I have to pick an engineering field. Like I have to pick something. So I just kind of picked that, and because it seemed like that was gonna be like a thing that related to my internship. And so long story short, it was totally me thing. Nobody yell at me.
Yeah, you're like, don't come for me, please.
Don't cancel me, okay?
Yeah.
Don't cancel me.
So yeah, and now then, where are you in your career then? Like after all these internships and all of that.
So now I'm graduating in December, and somewhere along the way, I feel like I talked more about like what I did in the past than what I'm actually doing now. But now I work in cybersecurity. I do penetration testing with satellites. So I'm like a software engineer, and then I work in cybersecurity. Software engineer is like my actual title. So when I graduate, I haven't like accepted any offers yet, but all I know is that I'm going to be working somewhere in cybersecurity and software engineering. So yeah.
Wait. I'm putting on like, okay, so maybe this should be in private, but I will forget. So I actually told Roxana that I'm putting on a Pilates class. So you know how like all men usually mingle like during golf, will mingle during Pilates. So it's with this recruiter from Google and the recruiter from Square. So yeah, so
if you want to join,
you're all on. Okay, anyways, going back.
I think I would embarrass myself, but
it's better than golf, at least for me. I don't know golf. Do you know golf?
Well, at least with golf you can drink.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
We can have a shot before
Sonia
this.
wants to join. Okay, we'll make a club. Yes. Is Pilates en español, so that way you can also practice your Spanish, Kierra.
Okay.
Wait, did you ask her about like the last question, or did you?
No.
Sorry.
I asked her like, what's your career look like now?
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
okay. So, sorry. Okay. So far, Kierra, what has been the biggest challenge? In your career?
I think like I've always been the youngest and the only woman on all of the teams I've ever been on. And that's kind of like a double homicide right there, because I've always been the least experienced person in the room, the least skilled person in the room, because I'm so young. Like my first engineering job was at 17 years old. Like obviously I'm gonna be the person who knows the least when I'm working with like a 65-year-old dude who's been in aerospace his whole career, you know? So I feel like the hardest part of my career has just been accepting that and always being in a space where I can learn, and it's okay to not be the smartest person in the room. I'm a firm believer in like, if you are the smartest person in the room, then you're not going to grow. Mm-hmm. So it's taken me a long time to kind of get over that like crippling imposter syndrome, and really just take up space, take my seat at the table, take opportunities when I can, and really just try to be the best I can be, technically, professionally, as a person. I think soft skills are really important in engineering, and I think a lot of people don't have soft skills in engineering. So I think the hardest thing I've experienced is just being okay with where I'm at and not feeling like I need to be the smartest person in the room when I'm actually the youngest and probably the least smart person in the room. So yeah.
You will get bored, just like you did with mechanical engineering. Just kidding.
You just want to rub it in everyone's face.
I might have to go back to ME if that happens.
Yeah, no, but I totally feel you that it's hard to like how to act, you know, when you're the youngest one and when you're like the least experienced one. And because it's different, for example, like in classes, for me, like I most of the time I was the only girl, but like I didn't feel it I didn't feel bad because like if everyone was around my same age, so like, you know, I felt a little, you know,
Yeah.
saying things like talking about my experience or like giving answers and all that. But then at my job as well, like I was the youngest one and least experienced one, and like I talk a lot usually, but in at my job, like I was just like I don't even want to say anything. You know, I always felt weird, so I totally feel you.
And I think like a lot of the times when we feel that way, like especially as interns or like women or whatever it may be, why you're feeling like self-conscious in some way or you're not deserving in some way, I think that like most of the time it's only us who thinks that. Like I think a majority of the time people aren't looking at us the way that we think they're looking at us, you know? Like
Yeah.
when I walk into a room, people probably aren't thinking, oh, she's the youngest and the least experienced person here. Like they're probably not thinking about that. They're probably thinking about their own problems. So I think it's really important to remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is true. They have a lot going on.
Yeah.
Everybody does. That's happened to me too. Like, because usually, like, you know, when you're working with like people who have, like, to your point, 10, 20 years of experience, those sometimes don't want to listen. And I am like, no, but listen, I just learned this in school. I have the new fresh idea. It's like, you don't, old man. So, but I got really like stubborn with them. So can't let them shut me down. Okay. So I don't know if we have time, but we actually have a pretty high number of viewers. If you are all okay with getting some people in to ask some questions, Kierra, Fernanda.
Yeah, I'm good.
Roxana. Okay, yeah. So let me get them in. Oh, we have a lot of people requesting us. So I'm gonna request everybody who wants to come in and ask a question. So who wants to go first? Okay, I'm just gonna volunteer. Look, let me see here. Oh, we have a good crowd here. All right, Eduardo, since this is your account, you can go first.
Since this is your account, just because of that.
Oh. I'm in. I didn't think you were gonna choose me first. I thought Roxana was gonna come in first.
Well, I said it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, ask your question.
No, I did want to ask Kierra about, you know, the importance of the environment you grew up in, right? Just because it seemed like your parents helped or maybe made it a little bit easier to get into it. And the reason I ask is because not a lot of people have, you know, grow up like that. So, you know, outside of your parents, was there any other people that helped you or influenced you to continue that path?
Yeah, so I am very, very lucky to grow up in a household with two engineers. I feel like I hit the lottery with that one. But what a lot of people don't know, because I've actually never talked about this on Instagram, I don't think, but my mom actually was a single mom in engineering school. It was just me and her for like the first 6 years of my life. So I actually grew up like going to class with her, going to, you know, wherever she was going. She like ran a lab in college. So me and her, like she is my inspiration of it all. And so her and her friends, who are also women in engineering, have always like taken me in whenever I was doubting myself or whenever I had questions about something. So I've always been surrounded by like a really, really amazing community of like engineers and people in STEM.
Oh my
That's
God.
that's
Wait,
really
wait,
good.
Eduardo, do you know that Fernanda
Sure.
is a mom too?
Yeah, he knows. And like,
Yeah.
and you know, like the things that you were saying, it just made me think about Nico, because like I'll study with him. I was pregnant in class. I mean, you have seen like my stories too. Like I'm taking a class and he's with me.
Yes.
Yeah. I think, and the reason I bring it up is because, you know, the environment is important for anybody that's out there who doesn't have the energy or feels like, you know, maybe being at home doesn't help. Like you got to get out of your home and go find a different environment where, you know, people either help you or motivate you. You know, being at the library, maybe there's an environment that will make you succeed, right? So just hang around with the people that are going to make you feel good. And you know,
and actually my dad, who he actually adopted me when I was 18, so he's my stepdad, but he adopted me, so I just call him my dad. He actually, like, my mom and him were in engineering classes together. That's how they met. So I call my stepdad like by his first name, because when I like first met him, like my mom and him were just like best friends. Like I knew him years before they even started dating. And so I think I've always been in like a really, really like good environment when it comes to like engineering and like studying, and like the importance of being around like classmates or like like-minded people is really, really important, like you said.
That was my question.
Oh my God, I love this love story. I'm about
my
to
parents
cry.
are so cute. I don't like talk about them on social media because I just want to respect their privacy, but they are like literally the most amazing people. Like they're gonna be watching this, so love y'all.
And they can watch it on YouTube too, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Thank you so much, Eduardo, for asking that question. That almost brought us to
Thanks
tears.
Okay. I didn't even pay attention. I was just asking it. I don't know what was going on. All right. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next. So now I'm going to bring Roxana.
Okay.
That was such a beautiful story.
I know. I was about to cry. I always cry with these stories.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, guys. Hi. So, congrats, by the way. I know you said you're graduating in December. So my question was actually, and you guys kept talking about Papaya Tutor, which I've used as well, and I love them as well. So my question was more so, what do you think makes a good tutor? And what do you think makes a good student? Because you said you never stop learning. So what do you think are the best qualities to have for both of those?
Okay, those are really, really good questions. I think a good tutor is somebody who will like dumb it down for you as much as you need to and for however long it takes. I had a tutor like my freshman year of college in like calculus, and it was actually one of my really good friends, and I cannot tell you how many times he would explain things to me and I would be like, I still don't get it, and he would have to dumb it down even more. Yeah. We would go through that like 5 times. So I think somebody who's a good tutor is very patient and can explain things on a very simple level and a very advanced level. Yeah. And then I think a good student is a person who doesn't give up, because I think that's like the key to STEM, is like knowing how to fail and get back up, and not just like, don't drop out, don't change your major. Like you just got to get back up, keep trying. And yeah, that's something my mom always told me about engineering, and she's right. So
yeah, that's so true. I've always heard that as well. Like once you can explain it to a 5-year-old, is like when I've heard that, that's how you know you understand it, like fully. Awesome. Thank you so much. That was my question. I hope you guys, everyone watching, checked out Papaya Tutor. Thank you.
Aww, yes. Roxana, thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi, guys.
You know what I actually like is when my tutors, I was like, one of the questions that we ask is, why do you think that you can be a good tutor for a struggling student? And they say, I think they tell each other that I like this answer, but they said, because I've been there. I know what it feels like to not understand something, and for you know, like I've been there, so I don't want anybody else to feel the way I did. And I was like, oh, you're hired. But yes.
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody else have questions? You can raise your hand on the live. I see Sonia, Joanne. I don't want to keep the ladies for too long. I see also Cosmically Minded. Don't be shy. Come in and say hi. But if not, I mean, it's okay. I guess I will go ahead and ask a question while I wait for them to raise their hands. Or maybe they're just watching this live from their bed and they don't want to.
Probably.
So one of the things that I always ask is that, like, what advice would you, or what would you tell to yourself if you were, you know, if you were to go back to a very challenging time in your life, now, as you know, as Kierra is now, what would you tell yourself?
Is that a question for me or for Fernanda?
Oh no, for you.
For
me?
you.
Oh Lord. Oh my gosh. I get this. I get asked this question a lot, and I feel like I never have a good answer. But I would say, like, for people majoring in, like, who are gonna go into STEM, or like, my advice would just be to just take the pressure off, and you don't have to have, I guess this is just in general advice, but since this is about STEM, it kind of applies. But I would say take the pressure off yourself to feel like you need to always be doing the right thing. Like, there always is a right thing to do. Like, you're on a journey and you're gonna go where you need to go, and if you need to change your major, that's okay. If you want to change what you're doing, that's okay. Like, just roll with it, make good choices, work hard, don't give up, keep going. You're gonna get where you need to be.
Yeah, everyone's path is different.
Yes.
Well,
yeah, I feel like that is oh, sorry.
No,
I was gonna say that is something that I feel like, especially like competitive people, like, it's so hard for us to understand, because I mean, I felt that way, and I was like, oh, I'm older than everyone else, you know. But I had to, like, think, okay, but things happen in my life, you know, and that's why I'm not graduating exactly on time. And I feel like a lot of people that have, like, unusual path, they feel that way. But yeah, no, like, we don't have to follow the same mold.
Yeah, exactly. And I even, like, right now, I feel like I need to hear the advice I just gave, but I feel like since I'm graduating and, like, I don't exactly know what I'm gonna do, I kind of have, like, an idea, but I have no idea, like, what my life will be like in just a few months. And that's very, very scary for, like, I'm a super type A personality, and I just, like, am very wound tightly about stuff, so, like, the unknown scares me a lot. But, like, you just have to trust that you're doing the best you can, you've worked hard, you've done, you know, the best things you can do, and that's kind of where I'm at, and I'm just kind of waiting for, like, life to unfold. So I feel like I need to take my own advice on that one.
Yeah, we can wait to what's gonna happen. Because you have options, girls. Like, you have options.
Stop it.
I wanna go ahead and ask you about your options, but in private, since I definitely went over the time, and just thank you both for the time that you are putting on this live, for everything that you do to help other students in their journey. I wish I had you both when I was, you know, going to engineering school. And thank you for that amazing advice. I know that you said, Kierra, that you never have a good answer, but I think this was a really good one. Yeah. And it's a good one to, well, tell everybody good night from, and I know, Fernanda, you're in Connecticut. Kierra, you are in?
I'm in Kansas.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. I didn't know. Okay, well, thank you, everybody, and have a good night. I will be posting this live now. Yes, go ahead. Do you have any last
Yes.
words,
Thank you for
Kierra?
having me.
Of course.
Bye,
Of course.
guys.
Bye,
Buenas
guys.
noches. Good night.
Good night.